order. All set?
Yep.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the special and regular meeting and adjourned regular meeting of 8/26/24, which will start no later than 7 p.m. And so we better rock and roll.
No earlier than 7 p.m.
I mean, no earlier than 7 p.m. Maybe we could push it to 7. Okay. I understand that the mayor is attending remotely.
Yes, but I tried to, it won't let me start my video.
Okay.
Okay, Mary, try again to start your video.
We're glad to hear your voice.
I know, I miss you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm here.
Ah, there you are.
There she is.
Hello.
Hey.
All right. Would you please do roll call for us, City Clerk?
Councilmember Bowles?
Here.
Councilmember Beer?
Here.
Councilmember Big Stick?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Beckmeyer?
Present.
And Mayor Vaterlas?
Here.
And Mayor Vaterlas is requesting to participate remotely pursuant to Assembly Bill 2449, which allows remote participation for emergency circumstances. Mayor, can you confirm for the record that you are requesting to participate remotely?
Yes, I'm still recovering from surgery.
And could you please, you're required to identify whether any other individuals 18 years of age are present in the room at the remote location that you're calling from?
There is no one in the room. My husband is downstairs in the house.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. So I need a motion to approve remote participation.
Oh, so moved. Second.
Roll call vote, please.
And with the motion by Councilmember Beer and seconded by Councilmember Bowles for Mayor Vaterlas's remote participation, I'll start the roll call vote with Councilmember Bowles.
Yes.
Councilmember Beer?
Yes.
Councilmember Big Stick?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem
Yes.
Beckmeyer? And Mayor Vaterlas?
Yes, thank you.
Motion passes unanimously.
And I'll read the land acknowledgement. The City of Pacifica acknowledges that we occupied the unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone peoples, who are the original inhabitants of the San Francisco Peninsula. We honor the Ramaytush Ohlone peoples for their enduring commitment to Mother Earth. As indigenous protectors of this land, and in accordance with their traditions, the Ramaytush Ohlone have never ceded, lost, nor forgotten their responsibilities as the caretakers of this place, as well as for all peoples who reside in their traditional territory. We affirm their sovereign rights as First Peoples and wish to pay our respects to the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Ramaytush Ohlone peoples. And we'll have the salute to the flag by Councilmember Big Stick.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening, we have a special presentation from the Fog Fest Organizing Group. And we have Fog Fest Organizing Group President John Beckmeyer. And Mr. Beckmeyer, if you would like to go ahead. I think the city clerk has a digital copy of the poster.
I hope so. Yeah, there we go.
Great.
I don't know if it's on the overheads facing the audience.
Yep.
but This is our poster this year. It's our artwork. It'll show up on all our glasses, our T-shirts, our hoodies.
Mr. Beckmeyer, if you could please speak into the microphone.
I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Aaron Gregory, who owns Crustaceans on Palmetto, is
Hi,
our
Mr. Gregory.
artist in residence. And he's done this amazing artwork for us and has worked incredibly hard to get it onto all of our merchandise. So please come out, and I've seen the mock-ups of the glasses and the shirts, and it's all really quite beautiful. So enjoy the poster. We have a gift poster for the city of Pacifica that we'll hand over at the end of this thing. But really, really quickly, Fog Fest, it is on. Despite the rumors, and they really weren't rumors, we weren't going to have Fog Fest this year. We were short of money. We were short of a board. We were short of volunteer people in our community to step up and make Fog Fest happen. All three of these individually are critical elements for having Fog Fest. Fortunately, there's a lot of people in our town, our city, who value Fog Fest and understand what it means to them. And they stepped up big time. Our board has recovered. We have a large and engaged board. We have, through the efforts of our sponsorship committee, raised quite a bit of money. We now have enough money to actually launch Fog Fest. Our cash flow is interesting. We have lots of upfront bills, and we don't get our money until Fog Fest Day when you buy our beverages and whatnot. So we had to raise quite a bit of money to be able to launch Fog Fest this year. And our community group participation is back up. I think people are far more engaged this year than in the past, which is really quite nice. We've done a lot more in the way of communication to get people engaged in the community. I strongly urge all the community groups who have signed up to do things to show up en masse. You know, the work done is so much easier when you have a lot of help. So please support your community group when they volunteer for the Fog Fest. Come out, show up en masse, and make a difference. If you were unaware that the Fog Fest exists to support community groups, this is your notice. We share the profit of Fog Fest with the community groups that participate and provide labor for Fog Fest. Last year, it was 33 community groups. The year before, it was 55. But it's a great way for a community group to raise money for their purposes. At this time, we have a waiting list for booths at the Fog Fest. It's about 50 deep, so it's a really good thing. We're finalizing the booth reservations right now. So the waiting list may shift a little bit, but we have full booking for our Fog Fest, which is not unusual, but it makes me feel really, really good. And the registration for the Fog Fest parade is now closed. So come on out and help support the Fog Fest. If you aren't in the parade, show up anyway and wave to your neighbors and cheer them on as they go down the parade route. On a separate note, I think if I thanked all the people and supporters we have in the community, I'd be here all night long. I don't want to do that. I do want to thank the board, though, the people who've really stepped up. We have an active board. It's the board that does the work of a lot of the planning and a lot of the upfront work to execute this thing. And then it takes off on Fog Fest Day, and the board is still engaged on that. But right now, the board has done an incredible job giving selflessly of their time and creativity to make this Fog Fest happen. I do want to thank, and a little bit late, am I okay with the levels? Or?
Do you need something?
Oh, okay. There is an army of remotes down here. Anyway, the Pacifica Lions organization last year realized our financial straits and what this meant to all the organizations, and they created a stupendously generous gift at the end of Fog Fest for every community group that participated. I'm not going to tell you how much money it was, but it was big. If you look around the room and see somebody with a big grin on their face, like they know what happened, talk to them after this, and you'll get an idea of what the Pacifica Lions did to keep the Fog Fest alive. They certainly stepped up well above even our largest sponsor this year in what they did last year to make this possible, so I did want to call them out. The city of Pacifica has supported us tirelessly. I think Kevin's tired of seeing me hovering over his doorstep. The city, created I won't call it a grant, but it was really a grant for us to help get us over a financial hurdle we encountered, and we're extremely grateful for that. But on top of that, we have Public Works, we have the fire department, we have public safety, we have, you just name it. The city has really stepped up big. The finance department, everybody has worked with us cheerfully and gave us just incredible support. Finally, well, not really finally, I I do want to make mention of one really special person in our community. And he didn't know this was coming, but Robbie Bancroft, and I think he's in this room.
I think he's hiding. Mr.
Somewhere,
Bancroft,
okay.
is he running?
His
I thought you
motivation,
might be.
his networking ability, his determination, his ideation, and his support have really, really made a difference. Pacifica, I mean, we need a lot of help all across the board, and there's many key pieces here. He is certainly one of the big ones. We have this year 45 plus sponsor organizations for the Fog Fest.
Wow.
We created a sponsorship committee, and they have done incredible work to bring in money. This is the money that we needed to get our startup costs under control and cover them. So I feel like we are in very, very good shape for this year's Fog Fest. And if we have a nice hot day at Fog Fest, I think we'll sell well, and we should be in good shape for Fog Fest 2025. It's really heartwarming to see all these groups that came out to help and make Fog Fest happen, and the enthusiasm of the merchants up and down Palmetto when you talk to them and they start seeing the Fog Fest poster roll out. I think this event means a lot to the city, and I'm proud to be part of this thing, and I'd really like to encourage you to come out Saturday the 28th and Sunday the 29th and make this one of the best Fog Fest Pacifica has ever had. Thank you.
Do we want to do a photo? Or
You hold on to it for a second.
it's for,
Before they usually come down and take a photo.
yeah, we'll do a photo.
That's right.
Fog Fest board members?
Any other volunteer board?
Board members and engaged community people.
And our sponsors. Sponsors.
Still on or no? Check. We also have to thank Lit, by the way. Lit in the city of Pacifica. This would not be possible without you, so thank you very much. And Recology, of course, for your years of service. Your banners are coming. All right, we're gonna do this right. First, look at Kevin Woodhouse. Take that picture. Well, this gentleman doesn't mind stepping up and take that picture. And it would be perfect if you took one this way as well. Take it horizontal, or take it vertical as well. This is how you raise the big bucks. All right, this is gonna go crazy tonight. Yay, go Fog Fest! Cool. Thank you very much.
Oh, no, he said they got it.
We're going to Photoshop the mayor into that picture.
Wait.
You'll be a head floating
Thank you
above
so
us.
much. The artwork is beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
And thank you to Mayor Vaterlos for being our liaison from City Council for Fog Fest, and lending her expertise and advice to, this difficult year of transition. Thank you, Mayor. All right. We have a proclamation for Suicide Prevention Month. And do we have someone in attendance tonight or on Zoom?
Sylvia's there on
Mayor
Zoom.
Beckmeyer, Sylvia Tang is on Zoom. Let me,
Awesome. Sylvia, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank
you for allowing me to join virtually.
Yeah. So I'll
Shall
read
I
the
go?
proclamation.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. All right, proclamation of the City of Pacifica in recognition of Suicide Prevention Month, September 2024. Whereas the City Council of the City of Pacifica will join the county, state, and country in honoring Suicide Prevention Month in September, National Suicide Prevention Week, September 8th through 14th, and World Suicide Prevention Day, September 10th, to spread the message that suicide can be prevented. And whereas in 2023, 65 people died by suicide in San Mateo County, and 16,568 calls were received by the San Mateo County Crisis Line run by Star Vista Crisis Center, including 1,033, 6% of the calls routed through 988. And whereas the City of Pacifica residents are encouraged to play a role in supporting each other and preventing suicide by knowing the signs of suicide, finding the words of support, and reaching out to local resources, including San Mateo County Crisis Line by Star Vista Crisis Center. Call 650-579-0350, or call or text 988, or visit sanmateocrisis.org. Alternatives to Suicide Peer Support Group by Heart and Soul Incorporated, Suicide Loss Support Group by Mission Hospice and Home Care, and Be Sensitive, Be Brave, and Mental Health First Aid Trainings by Kingdom Love. And whereas the San Mateo County Behavioral Health and Recovery Services Office of Diversity and Equity, Suicide Prevention Committee, and partners are collectively organizing activities that our community can participate in throughout September Suicide Prevention Month, including free in-person and virtual events, advocacy days, and communication campaign. The 2024 theme is Love Over Loneliness. Ongoing updates are posted at www.smcsuicideprevention.com. Now, therefore, I, Sue Beckmeyer, on behalf of Sue Vaterlas and the City Council of the City of Pacifica and all its citizens, do hereby proclaim September 24th as Suicide Prevention Month in the City of Pacifica and call upon everyone in our community to find their role in suicide prevention, done this 9th day of September 2024. Okay. All right, Sylvia. If you have anything that you wanted to say, we can do that. And also, I'm sure council members have some comments.
Sounds great. Thank you. Beautiful reading. Thank you. Good evening, City Mayor, council members, City Manager, staff, and residents of Pacifica. I'm Sylvia Tang. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a staff member of the San Mateo County Behavioral Health and Recovery Services Office of Diversity and Equity, and I co-chair the San Mateo County Suicide Prevention Committee, along with Martha Cervantes and Walter Ng at Star Vista Crisis Center. And I want to thank Pacifica for joining other cities and the county in proclaiming this month for Suicide Prevention Month. As mentioned, the theme this year is Love Over Loneliness. This is a countywide, statewide theme. And you may know our County Board of Supervisors passed a resolution earlier this year in January declaring loneliness as a public health crisis. According to our San Mateo County 2023 Health and Quality of Life Survey, 45% of respondents said that they were experiencing difficulty with loneliness and isolation. So definitely a priority for us for suicide prevention and across our community. And I want to close with some call to actions and brief thank yous. In terms of call to actions, I invite everyone who is listening to take one or more steps, whether, as was mentioned, you could learn the signs of suicide on our website, or the numbers that were mentioned. I recommend saving it onto your phone as soon as you can, 988, or the national number 988 or the local Star Vista Crisis Hotline, which I will say 650-579-0350, and amazing trained counselors behind the scenes for that. And then the last call to action is welcome you all to attend a local event. One event is happening tomorrow if you happen to be free for the San Mateo County, for our county proclamation at 9 a.m. in Redwood City, 400 County Center in Redwood City. And tomorrow is World Suicide Prevention Day. So really want to highlight that. Also in the evening on the same day at Belmont Library, there will be a youth event for candle making for World Suicide Prevention Day. And if you can't make those events, there's also a worldwide tradition. I forget exactly what time, but you can search online and you can light a candle to honor someone who's affected by suicide, whether someone struggled with attempting suicide, a suicide survivor, loss survivor, attempt survivor, or maybe you know someone you've lost to suicide. So I really appreciate you all taking the time. If you all want to learn more, there's a website, smcsuicideprevention.com. And last but not least, I want to send a special thanks. Specifically, I definitely appreciate the City Council and the Mayor for proclaiming this and prioritizing this year after year. So I appreciate that so much. And I also want to send a shout out to Councilmember Mary Beer for being a huge advocate for mental health. And my surprise was honored this year for the George Coloris Hall of Fame Award through our county. So I really want to recognize you, Councilmember Beer, for all your work supporting youth, supporting Pacifica, and across the county. So thank you. And thank you to everyone for taking the time, and I will close there. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. Well, I was going to say the same thing. So, Mary, your leadership on this issue of mental health, and you deserve every bit of credit and thanks, and I know the work goes on. You've inspired me, and I think you've inspired us all.
Thank you.
Council members, did you want to say something?
Sylvia, thank you so much for those words. I really appreciate it. And it's interesting because I was thinking as you were talking that San Mateo County is so lucky to have you. And I don't know if folks understand all of the work that you do, but it's been so helpful to have you guide us as we've come to you and help us get trainings into our communities year after year after year. So I really appreciate you and all the staff at Office of Diversity and Equity. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you super soon.
Councilmember Big Stick.
Thank you very much, Sylvia, for the work you're doing. And thank you, Mary, for the work you're doing and what you bring not only into our community, but into many communities in San Mateo County. The mental health first aid was mentioned, which is particularly helpful, and I think if you have the opportunity to take that training, please do. I make a similar statement every year that the way I got to discover what death was as a 2-year-old child was because of the suicide of my uncle. And this theme of loneliness gives me something extra to meditate on a bit. And so I think as I'm thinking in terms of this world where now, unlike how it used to be, you don't necessarily need to talk to go to a restaurant to get your food. You don't necessarily need to talk to a travel agent to book a flight or a cruise, or even talk to a grocer to check out your groceries. And for the advantages of technology, us becoming closer as human beings isn't necessarily one of them. That, and unlike during that period of time in which you did have to, talk to your milkman, let alone your travel agent, in order to get the job done, during those days, we didn't necessarily discuss mental health. And now that we're discussing mental health, we're not talking to one another. And ain't that some stuff? And so I think that one of the simplest, most helpful bits I can share is that in my experience, what's helpful is to talk about suicide. If someone mentions the word, if you have it within you not to shy away from that word, but to say suicide, sure, I can say that too. That immediately is better than a statement like, oh, you don't really mean that. Living is hard. If living has not been hard for you at some moment, I'm not sure you're doing it right, or good for you, either way. As somebody who, suicide has happened not just with one member of my family, I have experienced feelings of, I don't know if I want to exist today. And I appreciate that the nature of the difficulty of life lends itself to that not necessarily being unusual or out of normal. If you're a human, there may come a moment in your life when you think, is it really worth it? And I think that if you hear somebody else who's brave enough to be able to articulate that they are having that moment of, I'm not sure if I really want to keep doing this, the more we can remember that own moment perhaps we've experienced. I remember when I felt that way. Tell me more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. I remember that day. And and after that, if you want to make a mention of, and then at some point I was able to see the sunrise, and I thought maybe it is worth it, and I had to wait long enough through that much pain to get there, then maybe that conversation might be helpful. So I would encourage anyone to honor that word suicide.
Thank you. Mayor Vaterlos.
I would like to thank you for everything you do, especially Mary and you, Sylvia. And I recalled that during college, I worked in a suicide prevention hotline, which somehow escaped me. We got a lot of calls. I had one suicide call, which luckily there was a doctor nearby, and he got to help the person because I certainly wasn't able to do it. But thank you for being there. Thank you for providing the services that you do. That's it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Councilmember Bowles.
I'll be quick. I too want to thank Sylvia and Mary. And Mary, just your example here every day, like valuing each human life that comes in this room or that speaks. And that's really what it comes down to. We are all precious, each one of us. And you might not feel it a particular day, but hopefully there are some moments and some people that recognize you as you go. And if not, come knock on our doors, because we want to help and be those ears for you. And Sylvia, when you first shared the data, I don't know how it compares to previous years. 63 died sounds incredibly tragic. But then you received over 16,000 calls. And so I just want to acknowledge the difference that you're making. And, who knows how many real lives you have saved in your work every day. And so thank you. And I wanted to ask, you had a little hashtag, Be the One, SMC. And I'm guessing what I think that means, but I think you should tell us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for speaking. And I'm sorry to hear, I forget which council member, I'm sorry, but for your loss of your uncle, and I just want to acknowledge that. So I wanted to be the one. It's a very observant. It's a hashtag that we use all year, not just September Suicide Prevention Month, but it's encouraging folks to be the one to reduce stigma. So reduce stigma around suicide or reduce stigma around mental health and substance use conditions, and that one person can make a difference. And I appreciate your comment about Mary humanizing many people, because it really does take one person to really help reduce stigma and humanize these issues. So I think each of you, council members, are making that difference. So thank you.
Thank you. Oh, did she cut off? Oh, good. Okay.
Very good.
City Clerk, will you be able to send this, or have you already sent a copy to Sylvia?
We'll send a copy of that to Sylvia, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Good night, Sylvia. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a
night,
good
everyone.
evening.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you so much.
All right. We're going to move to our consent calendar. And the consent calendar tonight involves items 1 through 5 on the agenda. I'm first going to ask if any council members wish to pull any items from the consent calendar. Mayor? No? All right, very good. And I'll open public comment on consent. So this is for items only, items 1 through 5 on our agenda tonight. And please state which item it is that you're speaking on. I don't have any cards for consent in the room. Are there any hands raised? Emily? All right, we'll give it a second, just in case someone just got that notice. No? All right. Then I'm going to close public comment and bring it back to council. And if there are no comments or clarifying questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the consent calendar, items 1 through 5.
I'll second.
I have a quick correction to the minutes, sorry.
Oh, we have a correction to the minutes, which is?
Item 2A.
Item 2.
Do you have a packet page for us?
I do. Packet page 46. Just past midway through, the paragraph starts, Councilmember Bowles stated. And it's, so anyway, I was reading from the LCLUP, and there's some words that I guess I need to read the whole sentence. To avoid coastal hazard risk to the maximum degree possible while ensuring stability and structural integrity in light of potential erosion and other coastal hazards where such minimum required setbacks shall be the distance necessary for all structural development, including, and this is where the words started to be wrong, instead of an exact sense of patios, it should be including any decks, fences, comma, patios, and then it goes on. And then there's an extra not further down that paragraph, the sentence starting, she wanted to point out, blah, 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 blah. There are some exceptions here, and then it says not including, but it's including. So just the word not doesn't belong there. That's all.
Thank you, Councilmember Bowles. I've noted those corrections.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so the maker of the motion was the mayor, and are you,
With the, yes, I'm fine with the corrections.
and second?
Yeah, second.
All right, roll call, please. Roll call vote, please.
Okay, consent calendar with item number 2 as amended by Councilmember Bowles' statements. The motion was by Mayor Vaterlas and the second by Councilmember Beer. Roll call vote starting with Councilmember Bowles.
Yes.
Councilmember Beer.
Yes.
Councilmember Big Stick.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Beckmeyer.
Yes.
And Mayor Vaterlas.
Yes.
And that motion passes unanimously.
Very good. Thank you, everyone. I note that it is 6:48 or something. Checking with council members on council communications. Shall we push to the end of the meeting unless there's something?
We cannot start the meeting until 7.
Oh, so maybe we have time to go ahead. Just the staff communications?
Oh, and we have the license plate reader as
Yeah.
well, so.
Oh,
I
right.
think we should-
So we'll jump to that item and we'll do, is that right?
It's up to you, but we can't start the adjourned regular meeting until 7.
So do we want to go ahead and
We need public comment next, right?
public comment?
General pub.
But I just wanted to check with council on council communications if you wanted to defer or,
I'm happy to defer to the end of the
Okay.
meeting. Just
Fine with me.
all right.
Defer.
Okay, good enough, thank you. I have one card that I believe is for items not on the agenda, because the item stated is Calera Creek. So I'll just say that this portion of the agenda is available for the public to address the city council on any issue that is not on the agenda. During this time, we'll be discussing only items not on the agenda and that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of this city. So the comments need to stay within that subject matter jurisdiction, and if they do not, then the city will provide you with a warning to stay within the subject matter jurisdiction. If the warning is not followed, then we will need to cut off the microphone. So I have one card from Errol Hunter.
Yes, good evening.
Hello.
Yes,
3 minutes, please go ahead.
thank you. Yes, so good evening. I've attended prior meetings in the past to speak about the Clare Creek Park situation in Valamar, and I'm here again to speak about it, but this time it's not to air a grievance or to ask for help. It's just to say thank you and express gratitude and appreciation. I received this letter dated August 19th, 2024 from City Manager Woodhouse. I won't read the entire thing, but I think the important bit here is that, the city has confirmed there are sufficient records to demonstrate the city owns Clare Creek Park. Therefore, trees within Clare Creek Park are city trees. They'll be included in citywide maintenance and valuation schedule, and adjacent property owners are not responsible for their maintenance. And so I couldn't be happier when I received this letter, and so I wanted to just come here so you see my face not associated just with airing grievances, but also just to say thank you. So thank you all for thank you to each of the council members for taking the concerns of Valamar residents seriously and helping to drive to an outcome such as this. And I also wanted to personally thank City Manager Woodhouse, not just for the letter, but for the tone of the letter as well. I mean, and there's a lot of different ways you could have written this letter, but the way you chose to write it was to, clearly acknowledge a mistake was made and apologize for the confusion and the concern that it caused, and extends the hand of friendship to citizen volunteers who also helped to maintain the creek. And so I just thought it was a great letter that showed empathy and integrity. And so I just wanted to say thank you for that. And then lastly, shortly after receiving this letter, I went straight down to Public Works to request service on the huge cypress tree that started this whole conversation. It's a huge cypress tree in the creek across from my house. Large branch fell, could have killed somebody. And so went straight to Public Works, requested service, and to my great amazement and surprise, 2 days later, 2 days, you didn't mishear that, 2 days later, there were 2 trucks from Davies Tree Service maintaining that tree. They spent the entire day from 8:30 a.m. till 3:30 in the afternoon. 2 trucks, 4 or 5 man crew. It had like the long telescoping arm, so they got way up high in the tree. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't see any other speakers in the audience here. Do we have Assistant City Clerk? Do we have anyone on the phone?
There are no raised hands.
All right. Then I'm going to close public comment and bring it back. Council, we've agreed that we're going to defer our comments unless there's something urgent we need to say about a date or something we want the public to hear about something coming up that we want to make sure they're knowing about. Did you have something, Councilmember
Yeah,
Bowles?
I just, the Beach Coalition is organizing Coastal Cleanup Day on September 21st from 9 to 11, and there's going to be a big party afterwards where all the different groups come. So in the parking lot, there'll be booths and so forth, so come join us.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Madam Mayor, since dates, I heard there's a Fog Fest coming up, first of all, on the 20th and 29th. And the Pacifica Resource Center's big fundraiser of the year, the Palmapalooza, will be September 21st this year. It is the 50th anniversary of PRC. It's a big deal. If you can get a ticket, I highly recommend.
I think the very same day is the Sanchez Adobe Rancho Days as well, from 12 to 4 that day on Lindemar Boulevard. So it's a big day in Pacifica, the 21st of September. Every day is a big day in Pacifica. Staff communications, City Manager Woodhouse, do you have some things to share with us?
Thank you, Mayor Vaterlas, Mayor Pro Tem Beckmeyer, and council members. I did want to share also one time-sensitive event announcement, because next Saturday on the 14th is, this coming Saturday, right, next Saturday, the 14th, is the first ever Pacifica Children's Business Fair from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. outdoors at the Civic Center. And this is a unique event that also corresponds to the second Saturday event that occurs in Sharp Park, highlighting local merchants. But this event will feature 20 businesses managed by 27 young entrepreneurs. They create a product or service, develop a brand, build a marketing strategy, and open for customers at this one-day marketplace. And it's sponsored by the Acton Academy, the Acton Next Great Adventure, with support of donors and volunteers, as well as support from the Seaside Merchants Association and involvement from the Economic Development Committee and the city's economic development program. So it's an exciting first-time event of youth entrepreneurs at the Civic Center this Saturday.
I saw the flyer as one of the businesses in Sharp Park, and I wanted to double check and make sure that that went out to the school district so that we can share it out through the various school sites.
Yeah, that would be helpful to both school districts.
Right, yeah. Because we still have time to push it out
Yeah.
this week. And it's a really nice flyer, too. Great. What else do you have?
That completes my communication.
Is that all? Well, I did want to follow on, since we have a minute or two, right? I wanted to thank John Beckmeyer for the presentation and to echo his statements about how much all the different city departments support FogFest. And I was thinking about Parks, Beaches, and Recreation and the Fog, what do we call that? The Fun Fest, that's it. I was thinking Fog Jog, but I got my head mixed up. And I saw a flyer about Fun Fest that said, while we're on the 38th Fog Fest, or 37th Fog Fest or something, it's the 40th Fun Fest, because the Fun Fest preceded Fog Fest. So it's even longer in duration and service to the community. So it's a lot of fun. Bill Michaelis I met him at San Francisco State so many years ago when I worked there, and I just remember him telling me about new games. I didn't know what new games were, but they do a lot of fun games that are inclusive and a lot of participation. So that's exciting and fun too. And then, of course, all the help from the Sanchez Art Center and the work with the photographs, the competition, the parade. I mean, it's really such a fun event, and I'm really hoping everybody can turn out for it. So we have 2 more minutes.
You can.
And I was
proceed.
just going to
It's
say
just
to
the
remember
STRs.
that the parade is at 10 a.m. on Saturday. So everybody come out, line the streets. It's a great event for everybody. And the Fog Fest, I just can't wait.
Yay.
I'm so excited that we can do this and that we can continue this really special event for the city of Pacifica. Thank you.
And Mayor Pro Tem, we don't have to wait till 7
Oh, you
for
sure?
items
Oh,
6
good.
and 7.
Really? I'm always worried that,
Just
okay.
for STRs.
Only for item 8.
Okay, perfect. Is that why you had your hand up?
That was earlier.
Oh, then I ignored you?
No.
All right, let's move on then to item 6. I think we have a contingent from our Department of Public Safety, Pacifica Police. The subject of item 6 is the automated license plate reader technology to enhance public safety in the city of Pacifica. We'll have a presentation, and then there's a recommended action for us to adopt a resolution of the City Council of the City of Pacifica authorizing the city manager to implement the automated license plate reader, ALPR program. We'll talk about that later. For now, we have our chief, Maria Sarasua. We have Captain Bill Glasgow and Corporal Eric Martinez.
And Mayor Pro Tem Beckmeyer, I want to just kick off with an introductory comment before the police team. provides a very detailed presentation, which is what you'll see tonight. What I wanted to say is that, as the council members know, we are always striving for implementing new technologies in our work. Sometimes because of our resource constraints, we're a little slow on the uptake, but over the years, regardless of the department, we're always looking for technology improvements. And it's not for all of those technology improvements that I can say that they directly save lives. And in this case, I would like to, acknowledge that the automated license plate reader technology does that. All of our technologies, be it in public works and asset management and GIS, indirectly do help public safety and to save lives. But in this case, this is also a technology enhancement that's really critical to the city's resources and our efficiency of operations. So I wanted to lead off with that statement. Thank you.
Thank you. And we are joined by a number of our members of the Pacifica Police Department. Thank you for being here.
Thank you
Please
very
go
much.
ahead.
Good evening, Mayor Vaterlas, Mayor Pro Tem Beckmeyer, and council members. Maria Sarasua, and I am proud to serve as your police chief. Joining me is Corporal Eric Martinez and Captain Bill Glasgow. Our presentation will provide a brief overview of the implementation of an automated license plate reader program in the city of Pacifica and offer a recommendation for City Council to adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to implement the automated license plate reader program to enhance public safety in Pacifica. Automated license plate readers are not novel technology. For over 25 years, public safety agencies have utilized ALPRs to enhance public safety in their communities. All cities in San Mateo County are utilizing ALPR technology except for the city of Pacifica and the city of East Palo Alto. East Palo Alto will be going before their governing body next Tuesday. These cities credit ALPR technology with a marked increase in arresting wanted criminals,